Shout out to the teachers that told me I'd never make it, man. Man, nah. That's just some cool shit that rappers like to say, you know? I also get to say it because my teachers did not believe in me. I went to a Muslim school, like I went to an Islamic private school, and they found out I wanted to do comedy, and they had never even like heard of that, so they were just like, no. Like I had one teacher who was also the imam, he was like the religious leader, and he found out that I wanted to do comedy, and he was like, you want to be a funny guy, huh? You think this life is funny, my friend? When you see the power of Allah on the day of judgment, believe me, brother, you will not be laughing. And I was like, I'm still gonna do it. It made me want to do it even more so that I could be like all the rappers that I looked up to growing up. Like I was listening to a Meek Mill song one time, and in the song Meek Mill goes, to the teachers that said I wouldn't make it here, I spend a day with you make a year. And I heard that and I was like, I'm gonna flex just like that, I swear to God, one day. And then I became a comedian, and it's just great. Yeah, but we just make like the same money now, so it's not even like better, you know? Like I can't even flex on him now that I proved him wrong, you know? Like what could I say to the teachers that said I wouldn't make it here? I'll make a year where you make a year. Like that doesn't sound as good, you know? You didn't believe in me and now we're roommates, dumbass. Good job. He told me in front of the whole class that I was gonna starve. He said, you want to be a comedian? You're going to be very hungry, my friend. I wish you could see me now. I'd be like, I've never been hungry a day in my life because I still live with my parents, asshole. Did you think about that? No, you didn't. I'm never hungry. My mom cuts me fruit all the time. And she brings it into my room because she has no boundaries. I can't be mad at him. I can't still be mad at like high school stuff. You know, I'm trying to work on that. I don't want to like look for reasons to get upset because I do that all the time. I feel like everybody goes out of their way to get upset. This is when I realized that I did it too much, like looking for a reason, was when Kyrie Irving got in trouble. Kyrie Irving was like my favorite basketball player, right? He's one of the best of his generation. He got in trouble because he shared an anti-Semitic documentary on his Twitter. It like denied the Holocaust. It was crazy. And they wanted to kick him out of the NBA, and I agreed. I was like, there's no place for that. But then I caught myself in the middle of it. I was like, wait a second. Why am I even mad at this guy? A year before this, he said he thought the earth was flat. You know what I mean? Like if a guy tells you he thinks the earth is flat, like don't ask him about the Jews. Like what are you doing? What do you think he's gonna say? If you walked in on your girlfriend cheating on you, you don't need to be like, let me see your phone right now. The way this guy's hitting it from the back right now lets me know you're lying to me, I can tell. Like look, there's no flat earthers, but the rest of their opinions are progressive. That doesn't happen. There's nobody who's like, the earth is flat, but we're all doing our best, man. We gotta take care of each other on this Frisbee ride in space, man. We gotta coexist on this disc. The people don't think like that. They're like, the earth is flat and there's too many Filipinos on it, and it's gonna tip over if we don't find the edge that the Jews are hiding from us. And he's a basketball player. He doesn't have to think any, you know? The ball is round. That's all that matters. As long as he knows that, whatever he's got to think to keep that shot straight, fine by me. Kanye was the same thing. Kanye, that was tough for me when Kanye got in trouble. Because I've been a Kanye apologist my whole life. Every single time Kanye said something stupid, I was always the guy in the back of the room just being like, just wait for the album, bro. Like, you have no idea. You don't even know what he's talking about yet. He's in the future. You're not an artist. You wouldn't get it. And then he was like, I'm gonna go DEFCON 3 on the Jews. And I was like, this better be a good album. You know, this sounds like the past, yay. You better have Moses on this thing. This is crazy. So my family is from Lebanon, and thank you. Oh my God, all of Lebanon is here. That's crazy. I was raised here, but my mom, born in Lebanon, she tells me stories about it all the time. She told me in 1982, when she was a little girl, Israel invaded Lebanon. So my mom grew up like with Israeli tanks rolling through her village, like they used to come in the house and do check stops. Crazy way to grow up. One day, the Israeli military fired a missile at my grandmother's house, and it broke through the wall and just landed inside, but it like didn't go off, just didn't explode. They just all had to back away from the missile. And then the Israeli military just came and like picked it up, and they're like, sorry, and then they left. That was it. That was all that happened. But I heard this story, I was like, oh my God, like if that missile went off, like I would have never existed. My whole family would have never existed. I wouldn't be here talking to you guys right now. So I still listen to a little Kanye, you know? I feel like that's fair. I don't know if that's the right way to look at things. I don't think it's a point system, you know? I try to do the right thing. I try to do what I think is right. Like I tried to get my cousin to stop saying the N-word. You guys remember after Black Lives Matter when they were like, hey, if you have family members that use the N-word, you gotta talk to them and you gotta get them to stop saying it, but then they didn't like tell you how? They were like, freestyle it. And I was like, freestyling is exactly how we got into this mess. I can't just start freestyling with this guy. But I was like, okay. And we were hanging out one day and he was like smoking weed and like playing Call of Duty. So I'm like, this is a good time to talk to him about this. He keeps saying it. And I like started to get myself ready to have this conversation. I went internal, you know, and I was like, just talk to him. It's the right thing to do. It's not gonna be that hard, just say something. And then he said it again and I was like, okay, buddy, you gotta stop saying the N-word. And he was like, what are you retarded? And I was like, okay, well, this is gonna be harder than I thought. You can't say that either, but you know what? You can keep saying that one as sort of like a nicotine patch to get off, you know? And I just kept arguing with this guy, and every single thing I said to him, he had some kind of a comeback for. I was like, you can't talk like that. He's like, explain to me why I can't talk like that. I was like, because you're not black. And he's like, I know I'm not black. I was like, that was my big argument. That was really it. That was all I planned. So I was like, I gotta re-strategize. I gotta think of a new way to come at this. I can't act like I'm better than him, you know? Like we gotta see eye to eye if this is gonna work. Like I gotta use language that he understands. So I was like, buddy, when you say the N-word and you're not a black person, it makes you seem like a homo. Haven't heard him say it since. That was the last time. Listen, man, I'm an ally, but I can't save everybody. I believe it was Malcolm X who said, by any means necessary. I don't know if that's exactly what he meant. I've been traveling a lot lately, and I'm in airports all the time. And I always get nervous in airports. Something always goes wrong. So I started doing this thing where I make my phone background my boarding pass, just so it's easy to like scan in. I can just go, I'm not fumbling with my email. But I also do this thing sometimes before I come on stage where I make my phone background like a list of my jokes, just so it's easy for me to reference. And I forgot to switch it. So I was going to get on the plane. I just showed a nice woman who works at the airport a list that said, Islamic school, prove them wrong. Israel payback. By any means necessary. And I was just like, oh, that. Yeah. Don't even worry about that. That's for work. Thank you guys very much. Have a good night.